Most men go through life missing the truth that women are constantly giving signals, small indicators that reveal whether they are drawn to you or not. The problem is that most guys are either too distracted, too insecure, or too unaware to catch those cues. Instead, they overthink, they wait for some obvious declaration, or they convince themselves that attraction has to be spoken outright. But women rarely make it that clear. The truth is, when a woman is sexually attracted to you, she will communicate it without saying a word. And if you're not sharp enough to see it, you'll miss your chance. Attraction is not about grand gestures in the beginning. It's about subtle energy exchanges that most men overlook. Think about it. Women live in a world where they've been conditioned not to throw themselves at men directly. So what do? They express through body language, through their eyes, through the way they position themselves around you. They are testing if you are present enough, confident enough, and self-aware enough to recognize what they're showing. That's why understanding these signs matters, because if you can't read them, you'll always feel lost, wondering why some interactions go nowhere while another man picks up on the same signals and takes it further. The power of female indicators is that they allow you to move with certainty instead of hesitation. A man who knows how to read women never has to question whether she's into him, because the proof is right in front of him. This awareness builds confidence, and confidence makes the interaction smoother, stronger, and far more natural. On the other hand, a man who ignores these signs will second-guess himself, hesitate, and eventually come off weak or needy. The woman may have been interested, but his inability to recognize her attraction signals kills the spark before it even has a chance to grow. Another truth most men don't understand is that women actually want you to see the signals. They want you to pick up on the cues because it makes them feel more feminine, more desired, and more connected. When you don't notice, she feels unseen. When you do notice, she feels understood without needing to explain herself. That difference can determine whether she keeps leaning into her attraction or whether she pulls away and closes off. This is why the first step in recognizing sexual attraction is not about tactics, not about memorizing lines, but about training your awareness. It's about slowing down, paying attention to her actions instead of just her words, and trusting the energy between you. Most men try to force attraction through talking too much, proving themselves, or showing off. The man who simply observes and responds to her signals separates himself instantly because he's moving in alignment with her unspoken language instead of against it. At the end of the day, a woman who is sexually attracted to you will show it. She may not say it, but she'll give you indicators. If you can learn to recognize them, you'll never again wonder if she's into you. You'll know. One of the strongest signs of sexual attraction is the way a woman uses her eyes. You see, eye contact is not just about looking at someone. It's about the energy behind the look. Most men completely underestimate how powerful this is. A quick glance is one thing, but when she holds your gaze just a little longer than usual, when her eyes lock with yours and you feel that tension, that's not an accident. Women know the power of eye contact, and when they're attracted, they use it. It's a silent language, a way of communicating interest without saying a word. Think about how most people use their eyes in everyday life. Strangers look away quickly. Acquaintances may hold eye contact briefly, but when someone is drawn to you, they give more. A woman who feels that pull will linger. She'll let her eyes stay connected to yours, sometimes with a subtle smile, sometimes with a soft look that feels inviting. That's not random. It's intentional, even if it's subconscious. She's telling you through her eyes that she's engaged, that she's not just seeing you as another man in the room, but as someone she's open to. What separates casual eye contact from sexual attraction is the intensity. You'll feel it. There's a certain charge in the air, an energy that makes the moment stand out. It may only last a second or two, but it's enough to communicate desire. Some men ignore it, brushing it off as coincidence, while others get nervous and look away. The man who understands, who holds that gaze confidently without overdoing it, communicates back, I see you too. That exchange builds tension and attraction without a single word spoken. Another sign tied to eye contact is how often she looks at you when she thinks you're not paying attention. Maybe you're in a group setting and you catch her glancing your way repeatedly. Maybe she locks eyes from across the room and doesn't look away immediately. These are all cues that she's drawn to you. Women don't waste energy staring at men they have no interest in. If she's giving you that much attention, it's because you've sparked something in her. What you need to understand is that women are subtle for a reason. They don't want to appear too forward. They want to maintain a sense of mystery, but they still want you to know. That's where their eyes do the talking. If you're present enough to notice, you'll catch it every time. If you're too distracted or insecure, you'll miss it and assume she wasn't interested. The truth is, women often put the ball in your court with something as simple as a look. It's up to you to recognize it and act on it. So when her eyes stay on you longer than normal, when you feel that spark in the silence, that's one of the clearest signs she's sexually attracted to you. Another undeniable sign that a woman is sexually attracted to you is the way she uses touch and physical proximity. Attraction is not always verbal. In fact, most of the time it reveals itself through the body before it's ever spoken. When a woman feels drawn to you, she will naturally want to close the distance. She'll lean in when you talk. She'll brush against you when she doesn't have to. And she'll look for reasons to break the touch barrier. These small actions are far more powerful than words because touch is one of the most primal ways humans communicate desire. Think about how most people behave with strangers or acquaintances. They keep their space. They avoid unnecessary physical contact because there's no bond, no attraction. But when someone is interested, that distance shrinks. A woman who is into you will position herself closer than necessary. Maybe she stands beside you instead of across from you. Maybe she leans her shoulder into yours during a conversation. Maybe she finds an excuse to touch your arm when laughing at something you said. On the surface, it might seem casual, but underneath, it's intentional. It's her way of signaling comfort and desire. The difference between friendly touch and sexual touch lies in the frequency and the context. A quick handshake or a polite pat on the back doesn't mean much. But when she repeatedly initiates contact, when she finds reasons to be near you, when her hand lingers just a second longer than normal, that's attraction speaking. Women don't risk physical closeness with men they're not drawn to. It's too personal, too vulnerable. If she's closing that gap, it's because she feels safe and she wants that spark to grow. Proximity is just as telling as touch. When she chooses to sit next to you when other seats are available, when she angles her body toward you instead of away, when she leans in closer to hear you even though she can hear just fine, that's her showing interest. These are subconscious behaviors, but they reveal where her focus is. Her body language is saying what her words won't always say directly. I'm drawn to you. Most men overlook these signs because they convince themselves it's just friendliness. But friendliness has boundaries. Sexual attraction pushes past those boundaries. The key is to pay attention not only to the fact that she's touching you or standing close, but how often she does it, how natural it feels, and whether it's consistent. When you notice those patterns, you'll stop questioning whether she's into you because her actions make it clear. At the end of the day, women use touch and proximity as one of the strongest ways to express attraction. And if you learn to read it, you'll never be confused about her intentions. Playfulness is one of the clearest windows into attraction, and when a woman is sexually drawn to you, she often reveals it through teasing, laughter, and the kind of feminine energy that feels light and inviting. Most men don't realize how important this shift in behavior is. Around people she's indifferent to, she'll keep things neutral, polite, and minimal. But around a man she's attracted to, her energy changes. She becomes more playful, more invested in the interaction, and she starts to drop the guarded, formal tone she uses with everyone else. That playfulness is her way of signaling that she feels comfortable, safe, and interested. Think about how humor works when attraction is involved. She laughs at your jokes more than necessary, even when they aren't that funny. She teases you lightly, almost challenging you, but in a way that feels fun rather than critical. She might give you a nickname, poke fun at something you said, or playfully disagree with you just to keep the conversation alive. This isn't her trying to belittle you, it's her way of creating tension. The playful tension is one of the strongest forms of sexual chemistry because it sets up a push-pull dynamic that keeps both people engaged. Her tone of voice often changes too. It becomes softer, lighter, sometimes even flirtatious. She may giggle more, her words might carry a teasing rhythm, and she'll often find reasons to keep the conversation going even when it could naturally end. This is important because it shows she doesn't just want surface level connection. She wants to draw you in and keep your attention. Another part of feminine playfulness is her willingness to open up emotionally in a lighthearted way. She might share silly stories, talk about random personal experiences, or exaggerate things just to make you laugh. This is her creating a unique dynamic with you that she doesn't have with every man. Most men miss this, thinking it's just friendliness. But the truth is that women don't extend this kind of playful, flirtatious energy unless they feel something deeper. You'll also notice she mirrors your energy. If you tease her, she teases back. If you make a light joke, she builds on it instead of shutting it down. This back and forth is her way of creating connection while also testing your confidence. Women love to see if a man can handle playful energy without becoming insecure or defensive. If you can match her tone, stay relaxed, and play along, it only amplifies the attraction. Attraction thrives in this space because it's effortless. There's no overthinking, no pressure, just a natural exchange of energy that builds chemistry. When a woman is playful with you, she's not just being friendly, she's showing that she's invested and that her guard is lowering. That's why playful teasing and laughter are some of the strongest signs of sexual attraction you'll ever see. One of the most telling signs of a woman's attraction is how much attention she gives to her appearance and the small details when she knows she'll be around you. Women are very intentional with how they present themselves. And while most men think it's just random or routine, the truth is that when she's drawn to you, she'll go out of her way to look her best. It's not about vanity. It's about signaling interest. She wants you to notice her, and she wants to stand out in your eyes. Pay attention to how she subtly adjusts herself when you're present. Maybe she fixes her hair while talking to you, runs her hand through it more often, or checks her reflection in her phone screen. Maybe she adjusts her clothes, smooths out wrinkles, or applies lip balm mid-conversation. These little movements might seem insignificant, but they're part of a deeper instinct. When a woman is sexually attracted to a man, she wants to present herself as feminine, desirable, and put together. She's not doing this for everyone. She's doing it because you're there. You might notice a difference in how she dresses when she knows she'll see you. She might choose an outfit that flatters her figure more than usual, wear a certain fragrance, or put extra effort into her makeup. Again, this doesn't mean she's desperate for attention. It means she cares about the impression she's making on you. Attraction inspires effort, and when she's going above her normal standard, it's because she's hoping you'll pick up on it. What's even more interesting is how she seeks your reaction. A woman who is attracted to you won't always ask directly, "Do you like how I look?" Instead, she'll fish for subtle validation. She may ask small questions like, "What do you think of this?" Or she'll linger after adjusting something, giving you the opportunity to notice. Women crave being seen by the men they're drawn to. And when you give that recognition authentically, it deepens the attraction even further. Another layer to this is the subconscious body language tied to her appearance. When she's near you, she might tilt her head slightly, exposing her neck, or angle her body in ways that highlight her curves. She's not sitting stiffly or hiding herself. She's opening up, physically presenting herself in the most flattering way possible. These are primal signals rooted in how humans naturally display interest and attraction. It's important to understand that these details don't happen in isolation. A woman won't go out of her way to constantly adjust her look, check her reflection, or subtly present herself unless she cares about the impression she's leaving. Men who miss these signals often assume she's just being feminine. But in reality, she's being feminine for a reason, because you've triggered her attraction. So when you notice her putting in extra effort to look good, when she's adjusting herself around you, when her appearance seems more intentional in your presence, that's one of the clearest signs she's sexually attracted to you. When a woman is sexually attracted to you, one of the strongest signs is her willingness to invest time and attention in you. Time is the most valuable resource anyone has, and when she chooses to give it freely, it speaks volumes about her interest. Attraction isn't just about physical gestures or playful teasing, it's also about where she prioritizes her energy. If she consistently makes space in her life for you, it's because she wants to deepen the connection and allow that attraction to grow. You'll notice this in the way she communicates. A woman who is drawn to you won't leave your messages unanswered for days or give you half-hearted replies. Instead, she'll respond quickly, often adding detail and effort to keep the conversation alive. She may initiate texts herself, sending you things that remind her of you, or asking questions just to engage. This kind of attention shows she's not treating you like an afterthought. She's intentionally keeping the connection strong. In person, her investment is even more obvious. She might linger around after a conversation when she doesn't have to, or she'll find excuses to extend the time you're spending together. Maybe she suggests grabbing coffee after an event. Maybe she stays just a little longer when you're hanging out, or maybe she rearranges her schedule to make sure she can see you. These are not casual behaviors. They're clear signs that she values the time with you and wants more of it. Women who aren't attracted will avoid unnecessary time commitments. They'll keep things short, polite, and surface level, but when attraction is present, she leans in the opposite direction. She wants to be where you are. She wants to share experiences with you, even if they're small or ordinary. And most importantly, she makes herself available because being close to you feels rewarding in itself. Another subtle sign of her investment is how engaged she is when you talk. She remembers little details about your life, follows up on things you've told her before, and shows genuine curiosity. She's not zoning out or distracted. She's fully present because her mind is occupied with you. This is how emotional connection starts to blend with physical attraction. It's not just that she wants to be near you, she wants to understand you, connect with you, and keep building that intimacy. The deeper truth here is that women don't consistently invest time in men they're not interested in. They might be polite or friendly, but effort is always reserved for those who spark something deeper inside them. If she's giving you her time, her focus, and her energy, it's one of the clearest indicators that she's not just casually interacting with you, she's genuinely attracted and wants something more to develop. When a woman consistently invests her time and attention in you, it's not by accident. It's a direct reflection of her attraction.